Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Look, there's a lot that's happening at the moment, and I'm not going to talk about all of that. I'm going to talk about this calamity that took place today. I'm honestly heartbroken, man. Like, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, like, I'm absolutely shattered to the point where it's left a bitter taste in me now. Every hope that we had about this protest, it's gone. It's finished. It's disintegrated. Some of you guys might be thinking, Miz, what are you talking about? What happened? Well, if you haven't seen this 10-minute clip, 10 and a half minutes clip from TalkSport, where a particular Chelsea fan, match-going fan, talks about the protest, you get an opportunity to talk about the protest that is on a platform like TalkSport, where their viewership reaches out to thousands, if not millions. And you go out there and you make an absolute fool out of yourself. I'm devastated, man. For people that haven't seen the clip, go out there and see it. It's all on social media. It's all over X. Just type Chelsea protest on your search bar and this will come up. Now, I don't know whether this was a setup from TalkSport. I don't know whether, and there are some conspiracy theories going out there. I wouldn't put it past it. These guys are billionaires, these owners, they see what's going on social media. And I don't know whether they've reached out to TalkSport and said, hey, guys, need you guys to get the most dumbest of the dumb match-going fan live on call. This wasn't even a call-in show, by the way. This is, I think, TalkSport just randomly called this guy, supposedly a match-going fan. And he made himself look like a fool, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely made himself look like a fool in front of people like Simon Jordan. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's gone out there and he's talking about, I don't even know, he's talking about some random debt. Apparently our owners are debt financing, this, that, the other. There are so many different topics to talk about, and he picked out a topic that has no substance and absolutely got himself mauled, obliterated in front of Jim and Simon Jordan. It's a shame. It's left a bitter taste. Off the back of this, it's caused major damage. I'm not going to be surprised if the protest even happens or not now. This has been a big issue of mine for a while, and I have to say this. And I hope when I say this, this isn't putting a blanket rule across all match-going fans, but I've always been a bit concerned. And I've always said over the last few weeks since talking about all of these protests is, first and foremost, we as a fan base, we need to understand what Chelsea Football Club is all about. We need to understand who the owners are. We need to understand the structure they've put in place to run Chelsea Football Club. We need to understand who Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart are. We need to, as a fan, it's our due diligence, not just be passion merchants and, to all the match-going fans, just simply going to the match, having a nice drink before the match, having a nice drink after the match, drink a lot more during the match. It's not about just simply going out there and watching and cheering. Understand your football club, man. Honestly, growing up, my parents, they told me knowledge is king. Whatever you talk about in life, ladies and gentlemen, before you talk about that topic, have knowledge. Have credible, substantial knowledge about that. And you're up against people that are so knowledgeable in the industry. And you go on there and you don't talk about anything. You could have literally picked out so many things to talk about. Could have talked about the 1.5 billion that we've spent, or whatever the case is, 1 billion that we spent, and we still have holes all across our squad. Don't have an excellent goalkeeper. Defense is an issue. striker, no backup, the January window that went, the summer window. You could have talked about all that. You could have talked about the model itself, the transfer model itself. Inexperienced players, low wages, low transfer fee, no experienced players. You could have talked about leadership, the lack of leadership, the lack of role model at Chelsea Football Club, being stripped away. All the leaders that we once upon a time we had, they're all gone. You could have talked about so many things. You could have talked about Clearlake, one of the owners, one part of the owners, what their remit is. If you guys missed out on my earlier video, please check it out. I'll bring it up in the screen soon. Check out the previous video that I dropped earlier today in regards to who Clearlake are. You could have talked about Todd Bowley and his Vivid Seats scandal, ticket touting. You could have talked about the failed attempt 3 seasons in regards to building a stadium, new stadium. You could have talked about the constant changes, managerial changes, and also bringing managers that are inexperienced at this level. You could have talked about the directors. What background do they have of winning? So many points to talk about. And you talked about the most random nonsense thing, and you made yourself look like a fool in front of everyone. And they absolutely ate him alive. Simon Jordan absolutely ate this fan alive. I'm so saddened by this, man. I'm so saddened because now, whether the conspiracy theories are true or not, whether this was all nicely planned to absolutely mud the protest, if that was the, directive that our ownership took, they were successful. These owners are very powerful, man. They're capable of doing anything. They wanted to damage this protest, and they've been absolutely successful. They've damaged it to the point where I'd be surprised if anyone shows up for this protest now. You want to go to the protest off the back of this outing from a match-going fan that's saying that he is part of the leading group of the protest. You want to go and support this nonsense. It's sad. I honestly thought by now, and this is why I've been struggling in recent times, thinking, why are some fans saying, what's the clear message? What's the clear message? No, I get it. I get it. We've got too many dumb people in our fan base. I get it. And we deserve to see our club crumble. We deserve it. We deserve it. We're now forced to see mediocrity for a very long period of time. After today's damage, this is no different to touch wood, and I hope this never happens to anyone out there. This is no different to watching your loved one having some sort of a terminal disease, and you're just simply watching them disintegrate in front of you. This is similar sort of situation with Chelsea Football Club. For the people that love this club so much, get ready. If you think our owners are actually going to change their remit, they're going to change their model, you're having a laugh. This is exactly what they want to do here. Find opportunities. Build the values of players. They're not here necessarily to win, because that doesn't really give them anything. They come from a background, especially Clearlake, ladies and gentlemen. People talk about Blueco, Clearlake. Let me tell you something. Blueco is the holding company that holds all of these assets: Chelsea, Strasbourg, women's team, academy, all the different hotels that Chelsea Football Club used to own. It's all under Blueco now. Blueco is just a holding company that encompasses all of these assets in the one banner. Ultimately, Clearlake owns 60% of Chelsea Football Club, and the rest are other ownership. I think Bowley owns about 20%, so on and so forth. There are other owners as well. Clearlake are the ones that are running the show. So when you say Blueco, you essentially mean Clearlake, who are the majority shareholders who are absolutely running the show. So it doesn't matter. Blueco, Clearlake, it's the same. So when we say Blueco out, the majority shareholders of Clearlake, you're essentially saying Clearlake out, and that's exactly how it should be. And when you look at who these people are. Clearly, majority shareholders. This is what they do. They go out there in real life. This is their business, investment firms. They operate generally in technology, consumer markets, industrial markets, and they go out, seek companies that are struggling. They go in, they buy, and then they utilize all of their managerial skill set to try and improve that company in order to increase the value of that company. They're not really there to set the world on fire. No. They seek opportunities, and they saw a massive opportunity with Chelsea Football Club. And it's not an opportunity to win something. Simply the opportunity to make a lot of money out of it, to potentially put it in a position where it's worth a lot more than what they bought Chelsea Football Club for. And now, this is it. We're stuck, ladies and gentlemen. We're stuck off the back of this showing from this so-called match-going fan. We've been embarrassed. We as a fan base have been embarrassed. We can't do anything else. It's over. Now we are just going to have to sit down, settle down, and just watch the club disintegrate. And we can't do anything about it. Honestly, I feel sad. These match-going fans, it doesn't matter. You know, some people are right. If we beat Aston Villa, by the way, had a draw against Liverpool. If we beat Aston Villa by that odd chance, highly doubt we will, but if we do, some of these match-going fans, they'll forget it. Jim over here, I forgot his last name. Someone let me know in the live chat. He's literally put out, were you one of those fans that was cheering a couple of months ago that Chelsea's back? And the caller said, yeah, I was. And he's completely made a fool out of me by saying, oh, 2 months later, now you want these ownership gone. You just, whenever up and down, whenever you feel like you want to go against the owners, that's what you do. Chelsea not playing well, get the owners out. Chelsea playing good, I'll got my Chelsea back. This is how fickle these match-going fans are. Get a victory against Aston Villa, we got our Chelsea back. Failing to see the bigger picture that has happened and that has materialized over the last 3 seasons under this ownership. All the different issues that has taken place. These match-going fans, man, honestly, all they care about is simply going to the matches, having a good time, having a good laugh. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter whether we're mid-table, which we will be if this continues, this model continues under the ownership, buying young players only. If this continues, inexperienced players, we will be solidly in mid-table. And they don't care, man. It's a day out for them. Have a few drinks, watch the game, go home, make some noise. I don't even think it really matters to them even if we get relegated. They're just happy to go and watch the games, man. They're just happy. And as long as the match-going fans are not doing anything or saying anything that is substantial, that is worthwhile, what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? We're international fans. We ain't got that kind of power. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. I'm not going to go through any other news today. There's a whole heap of things that has happened. We'll cover all of that tomorrow. I'm just very devastated about the scenes that have taken place today. Very, very devastated. Our club is in the hands of fans that lack any level of knowledge. Anyway, smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, take care. See ya. Goodbye.